Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. I'm Rod, your happy hippie, and I'm here to do a video entry into AGK's 500 sub contest. So cheers, congratulations. He's approaching 500. Very cool. This is a neat contest. He was talking about people showing the same old records over and over and over and over and over. The Grateful Dead, the Stones, the Beatles, all that old school stuff. He wants us to focus on new albums that were made from 2010 into up to now. They could be old artists with new music, or it could be a new artist. Has to be on album. If you show a CD, you only get one entry. And he's giving a lot of entries depending on how many albums that we show, which is really cool. You can get up to 5 entries. You show a CD, you're back down to 1. I'm going to go first with new artists that have come out since, I guess, 2010. Started recording music since 2010. Some of these people struggled in bars before that, but anyway, from 2020, Miss Margo Price. The extremely talented Margo Price. Absolutely love this album. This is real country music. She's killing it. She's going to save country music, is what she's going to do. And it's a fantastic album. I believe this is her 3rd studio album. She started her career off with Third Man Records. Great album, Margo Price. Another album, I think this came out in 2019. Yeah, it did, 2019. The Rock On Tours, they're a band of the 2000s, featuring the very talented Jack White. Great rock and roll album, just simply kicks ass. The Rock On Tours. This is a band out of Los Angeles, California. This is Salem's Bend, and this is kind of a very hard rock, not a heavy metal, but just this very deep hard rock, almost with a psychedelic edge to it. So it's a very cool album. Some serious hard rock and roll. Another great album from 2019, The Black Keys. Fantastic freaking album. This, The Rock On Tours, and Gary Clark Jr. were my 3 favorite albums from that year. This is fantastic stuff. They just reissued this for Record Store Day. And the Vinyl Guru showed the album for Record Store Day. It's beautiful. I mean, this is a great job. But this is a great album, man. You don't need the Record Store Day one. Grab yourself a copy of that album and enjoy some good old rock and roll. 2018, Miss Courtney Barnett. Her 2nd studio album, Courtney Barnett. And I just mentioned this guy. This is Gary Clark Jr. from 2019. Has a song, My Land, on it. Very, very strong blues album. Lots of influences from hip-hop, from rock and roll. One of the songs even has a country kind of edge to it. Mr. Gary Clark Jr. Lucifer, some serious metal. They do a great version of Dancing with Mr. D on this album. Came out about 2 or 3 years ago. James Hollow from 2016, singer-songwriter. Very nice album. New artist. He came out in the 2000s, I think since 2010. And this one came out just a couple of years ago. This is just the score to the movie, or to the show, the television show, Stranger Things from Netflix. Came out 2 or 3 years ago. This is the score to Stranger Things. Great show, man. Got me wrapped up in that show. I mentioned the Rock On Tours earlier. This is Jack White from 2016, I believe. Another Jack White album. I believe this is from 15, maybe 14. Yeah, 2014. And this is the album that plays backwards. I'm sure everyone's seen it. You, on the side A, side 1, you start at the very end of the album and the grooves are cut backwards, and you turn on your record player and it actually plays the album backwards. Another album from the 2000s, Wilco. This is Ghost. Wilco, great band. Started out as Uncle Tupelo back in the 90s. They changed up a lot. Had some problems in the band. They broke in two. One went to Sunvolt, one went to Wilco. And this came out in 2016. This is Wilco Ghost. Going really old school with Mr. Willie Nelson. This came out this year. Fantastic album. First Rose of Spring. Has a song on here, Don't Let the Old Man In. Absolutely love the song. This is a rather new album. Came out in the last 2 years, I think. Bruce Springsteen, Western Stars. Great album. Now, he did tell us that if we show a live album, it has to be recorded after 2010. So, to me, that means the music has to be recorded from 2010 on. So I'm not going to show any Greatest Hits album. Like Elton John has a new Greatest Hits, Diamonds, that came out a couple years ago. Those are old recordings. I'm not going to show that. But I'm going to show this one because this is like 2011. It originally came out. This is beautiful orange vinyl. Dragonstown. It was reissued on Record Store Day. So if you do show a live album, make sure it was recorded in the 2010 plus. Two from Jeff Tweedy, who fronted the band Wilco. This is Warm, this is Warm, and this is Warmer. It was originally designed to be a 2-record set, I found out, after I had bought the first one. Then on Record Store Day, they came out with a follow-up to Warm called Warmer. I put back Albert King, Born Under a Bad Sign. I could shoot myself to get this, and like 6 months later, they issued it as a standard album, and now you can buy both of them together. But anyway, this is Jeff Tweedy, Warm and Warmer. Rolling Stones from 2016, Blue and Lonesome, recorded in 2016. I say this every time I show the album. This was a very generous gift from Melinda Murphy, some VCLT. Still enjoying this album. Fantastic stuff. The world's greatest rock and roll band, the Rolling Stones. And the last studio album this guy will ever make, Mr. Johnny Winter. 2014. The late Johnny Winter. Another thing about this contest, did I say you don't show a CD because you get knocked down to one entry? So I had to put back a Johnny Winter CD and a Carlos Santana CD. Wilco, another Wilco album, 2016, Star Wars by Wilco. The Prince of Darkness, Mr. Ozzy Osbourne. All new material, came out last year. Really, really good stuff. Singer-songwriter, started his career in the 70s. 80s, 90s, he peaked. This came out about 3 or 4 years ago. It's a tribute to Guy Clark. Released, I want to say about 4 years ago. Steve Earle. Album's called Texas. Now this is what I was getting to when I was talking about the live music. This is Alice Cooper. Live. It was recorded in 2016, 2017. Really good album. It has 3 lead guitars on this album. And on the version of School's Out, he does a medley with Another Brick in the Wall. And by arguably the greatest songwriter of all time, Mr. Bob Dylan. This album just came out this year. Rough and Rowdy Ways. Showed over 20 albums. He said we could show really as many as we wanted, as long as they were from 2010 to 2020. He wanted at least half of them to be new artists. So I hope I balanced that out well. AGK, man, you've got a great channel. You took off like fire, man. You took off like fire. He's a Canadian. His music behind him, his freaking collection is amazing. Just tons and tons and tons of stuff. I really enjoy watching your threads you do with Rachel the Music Man. Very, very good content on your video. The last couple you did about Record Store Day, I was drooling because I didn't get to go, but I'm going to the next one. I bet you that. I bet you that. Anyway, congratulations on your 500 subs. Check out his channel, AGK. This is a thread/contest. Peace. Hope everyone's doing well.